Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the 2015 Transformers Collector Club Leo Convoy figure. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. We'll have a look at the accessories that come with him, A, to help you know if yours is complete or not, and B, how to use them and display them in both modes. I'll also show you his collector's card that comes with him in a bit more detail. We can have a look at the original figure who owned this particular mould. We can have a look at some other figures that have since used that mould. And to give you an idea, I suppose, of how big he is or how he looks on display with some of today's current figures, we can do that as well. So, as I said at the beginning, this is, and you might not have seen this before because this figure was never released mainstream. He was part of the Transformers Collectors Club, and he was the incentive figure, as I've already said, for 2015. And as you've just seen, he is a extensive redeco of the Orion Pax mould from the Thrilling 30 toy line. And in honesty, he looks great. He looks absolutely stunning. I love the translucent red in the window. I suppose it looks a little bit like a face here at the front. It's the first time I've noticed that. We've got gold on the trims, we've got gold detail there. The one thing that I will notice, and I'm a little bit disappointed with, and it's, I suppose, no surprise at the moment because it's quite a current topic, that my white has gone a little bit yellow there. So that's something to be aware of if you're after purchasing one of these for yourself. I know this sounds silly, but it is quite important. You can see the wheels go round, loads of clearance, no issues whatsoever. On the underside, again, unfortunately, I've got a teeny bit of yellow in there, but it just holds together really good. Now, what I like about these figures, it's a bit like the current ones. We've got these 5mm ports either side. So what you can do is you can take, I suppose it's a bit like an Energon axe, isn't it, to be honest? And we can attach it to one hole like this. And then we've got the blaster as well, which is a brilliant, obviously, homage to G1 Optimus Prime, with, of course, this being an Orion Pax mould. And you can attach them like that, which looks okay. However, I think this looks much, much better. And what we've got here is, this is undocumented. You can actually attach this in there, and I think that looks okay, much, much better. I'm not sure what you think. I think it looks really good, to be honest. Here is the collector's card that would have come with him. I'm going to bring it a bit closer, and then what I'm going to do is, if you want to read it rather than me read it out, I'm going to say pause now. In fact, I'll bring it right towards you, say pause now, and you can read that in your own time. So, of course, this is a bit of an interesting alternate mode for Leo Convoy. Of course, it is a vehicle. And to be honest, there's not much more to say about him in this particular mode. Let's come back, have a look at him in his robot mode, and do some of them comparisons and display ideas. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, he's in his robot mode. And quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. That is for a couple of reasons. One is to keep the main length of the video down, and two is not to spoil it for people who don't want it spoiling for themselves if they are intending on purchasing this. However, this will be uploaded separately in another video, so if you want to see it, you can have a look at it. And I just thought I'd add as well, quickly, before we do some first impressions, the reason why I started with him in his alternate mode is because if that's how you were to purchase it, I would imagine that's how it'd be packaged, and also that is how he came packaged, in a very boring brown box, even more boring than the current generation Selects ones, as it was just literally plain brown. Right, first impressions of this figure. Lovely head sculpt, lovely Maximal badge there. And of course, you can see there we've got good articulation on the head. It will spin around inside there, a little bit of movement up and down, not too much. It is hindered obviously by this here. Shoulders will go all the way around out to the side. They'll swivel. You've got bicep flexion. You don't actually have a proper wrist swivel. That's just for transformation purposes. I love these little details on the forearm, of course, very reminiscent of G1 Optimus Prime. And again, unfortunately, you can just see that tiny bit of yellow in, which is, this is how I normally display him, so it's hardly noticeable because it's more at the back, and it's in the joints that are tucked away. Gold on the shoulders look brilliant. This is really shining under there. Hopefully the light, and hopefully this camera's doing that a bit of justice. Again, great detail at the waist. You've got full waist swivel. You can see that their hips are ball and socket. Even with all this going on here, you've still got a really good knee bend, and you can see the foot's got a brilliant ankle tilt and rock. they're not too bad. I wouldn't say that's super hollow, but you can obviously tell that's where the feet did fold in. And of course, we've got the wheels at the back. And of course, these were on the sides when it was in vehicle mode. I really like this mode. I love it. I love this mold, to be honest. And I prefer this particular mode to him. Again, if we bring up the original owner, which is of course Orion Pax, head sculpt is different straight away, which you can see, which is brilliant. And of course, as I say, different logos, different bits of detail on the inside, and of course it actually looks like we've got slightly different hips there as well. Right, let's have a look. So I can pretty much put exactly the same display if I wanted to, put the axe in one hand and the gun in the other, so I might just do that. In fact, let's do exactly the same just so we can do a proper comparison. Again, of course, if I wanted, which you saw, we could put the gun inside the axe, but it doesn't work as well in this particular mode. I'm just seeing if there's any more 5mm ports around here where I can play about. That will not fit in there, so you can't really store anything on them. You can, of course, if you wanted to, you could hold this a little bit like a blaster, but it obviously doesn't really look like a blaster. There are, of course, hollow forearms there where this folds in. But yeah, this is a figure going on. Well, this one alone is obviously 2015, but the original owner of the mold is a couple of years before then. So let's get him exactly the same as that. Looking really good. And then quickly, this is Nova Prime. This is another, I suppose, Transformers Collectors Club exclusive. And funnily enough, I've got the weapons the other way around with this guy, so he looks slightly different. What a great mold. They all look brilliant together. With regards, I suppose, to how big they are nowadays, we've got a deluxe Flame War here, so there she is. So pretty much exactly the same. Oh, she's not going to stand up. The perils of working with carpet. She's the deluxe figure of today's standards, I suppose. You did see I had a DK Breaker, but he's quite a big deluxe figure, actually. He's much bigger. And we've got a Voyager Soundwave just at the side as well, to give you an idea of how big it is. Anyway, this is just another one of them figures, I suppose, that can be quite elusive because he was a Collectors Club exclusive. Just wanted to share him with you. And of course, Leo Convoy, Leo Prime is very topical at the moment, and yes indeed, I can't wait to get the newer version myself. So in the meantime, this was the Transformers Collectors Club 2015 exclusive version. Let me know what you think of him, and take care.